Hi, Marzena. How are you?
Hi, Judy. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thanks for taking this time to talk with me today.
Thank you.
So I heard quite a story from you earlier, and I would love to discuss that today and talk a bit about it. And Marjana, what is your career background and how did you come to meet Dr. Wu?
Oh my gosh. So it's been a long journey to meet Dr. Wu. I started with a different instructor about 6 years ago or so. I got into Tai Chi. Actually, the whole journey started a day that I turned on the television and seen a little fragment of a movie where the actors were practicing Tai Chi outside. And it struck me so much that I literally cried watching it.
Wow.
And just so determined to find out what is exactly that they're doing. You know, it was just so beautiful, so connected with everything. So I started researching what it was that they were doing and got to find out that it's Tai Chi. And from there, started searching for a local instructor. So I did find it, started taking classes for about a couple of years or so. And of course, it wasn't enough. So I needed to get into it a little bit deeper and learn a little bit more authentic yang style Tai Chi. So of course, was searching for different instructors, masters, and I found Dr. Wu. So I came to his open house. At that time, he had showed Who Am I documentary. And while watching the documentary again, I was moved so much that it brought me to tears. So
Wow.
I knew at that moment, this is the place for me.
So you really felt a connection with the Tai Chi and with the Eastern medicine. It sounds like, I mean, that's amazing that you felt that immediate connection just watching Tai Chi and then watching the documentary, meeting Dr. Wu. So it resonated with your soul, huh?
Yes, it did. It really did. Yeah. Yeah.
And
So I knew it was in the right place. And that's how the whole everything started.
so what was the time span between the first time you saw Tai Chi on the television to practicing with Dr. Wu? What was the time span of that?
It was a little bit over 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
A little bit over 2 years when I met Dr. Wu and
Right.
started Dr. Wu. Yeah.
And so after you started training with Dr. Wu, how did you feel? How did it feel in your spirit, your mind, your body? Can you share a bit of your experience?
Oh my gosh. I knew I was in the right place. Everything just started falling into place.
Hmm.
Um, Started training, got much more connected with it. You know, I practiced before when I was taking classes with the other instructor. However, when I started with Dr. Wu, really that's when my training has began. I did that 100 days, not once, but 3 times. And since then, I've been practicing twice a day, morning and evening. You know, I do work full time, so my schedule is extremely busy.
Right.
And I stood on my head to make that happen. So no matter what, I don't miss for anything or anybody.
Yeah.
And here we are today, and I'm continuing. Dr. Wood did certify me, so I am a Tai Chi instructor for over a year and continuing the education. I think I'm going probably to be learning for the rest of my life
That's
because
wonderful.
there's so much to learn.
Yeah. So Marjana, when you said you had a former Tai Chi instructor and then you switched over to Dr. Wu, what was the shift and what made you switch over? Or what did you find that was more compelling with Dr. Wu?
You know, when I started training with the first instructor, I also started researching and I found there is like hundreds, if not more, different videos,
Right.
different styles. And even now it's the same yang style Tai Chi, but they're all doing in a different manner.
Yeah.
So I started questioning the instructor. Why is it that you're teaching us this way? Why is it that I'm seeing all these videos and they're so very different?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? So that's when he explained there's so many different styles based on different families. And from there, my interest grew, and I really wanted to connect to more of the authentic style. And that's where Dr. Wu came in, because his teaching is more authentic. The older style that is disappearing because it's been changed so much and so modernized through competitions.
Right.
It's just getting lost.
Right. I understand. And so when you're practicing this Tai Chi, how did that make you feel, and how did that affect your lifestyle?
Oh my gosh, it totally changed my whole life direction.
Wonderful. So
Uh,
how
it,
so? How so?
Starting the connection with the spirit, the body, um, the relaxation, the sleeping has improved, the pains have improved, went away totally. Um, Everything has improved. The flexibility in the body, the stress is handled much easier. I began to let it go,
Hmm.
basically. You just let it go and become empty. Uh, it does take a long time to practice this, but it's amazing. Like, I would encourage everybody to get into it because you really can change your life, um, and the quality of your life with
Mm-hmm.
your health as well.
So are you a Taoist today?
I'm reading books here and there, but I think I am so immersed in the Tai Chi.
Right.
Uh, Along, yes, with some of the TCM modalities that I get
Right.
into it, practicing copying gua sha, learning Tuina as well. But I think my main focus is that Tai Chi because that's my full passion.
Right, right. Yeah, it was interesting. You mentioned that you just now you're able to let go more. Do you feel more free and you're more harmonized with the natural cycle of life?
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
that's nice.
It's
Yeah.
funny when we work, we are so busy in our life.
Yeah.
We don't have time to step back and take a look at it. For example, nature, that tree or that flower,
Yeah,
the smell of the air. We don't have time for
I
it because
know.
we're busy. And getting into Tai Chi, that's what really opened up everything. I love nature. I for first time I'm growing plants where I never had any interest. My husband said, my
Uh-huh.
house, my God, this house looks more like outdoors.
That is so funny. So you weren't even very outdoorsy or liked plants before?
Yes, exactly. Because, my lifestyle was so busy with
Yeah.
working, you had no time. Now I take my time going into the park, taking the walks, taking that step back and actually breathe the air, smell the air,
Right.
listen to the birds, where before, like I said, there was no time and I wasn't even thinking about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it sounds like you're definitely more present now in the moment and just really savoring and absorbing nature and just being present in the moment. I totally agree with you. I think our culture, this very hustle culture of having to do more and constantly being on the go is just detrimental.
Yes,
I think naturally our bodies, if you look at, even in nature in the animal kingdom, there's a hibernation time to rest. And it's like, why aren't we resting? And I totally agree. And it's wonderful that Tai Chi allowed that to happen and you were so in tune with that practice. Marzena, so you're now a Tai Chi instructor, correct?
yes. Mhm.
And what would you say to someone that looks at Tai Chi a little oddly and think, oh, this, Asian martial arts movement, what is this? I don't think it's doing anything. What would you say to someone that's just starting out?
I think they just have to start it out very slowly because it is overwhelming. There's so many different forms. The form itself is very long, about 20 minutes long.
Oh,
So you
wow.
just, yeah, you have to take one step at a time, learn one form at a time and its meaning, and practice, practice, practice,
Right.
because you can't just come once a week, show up, do Tai Chi, and done and move on. It just doesn't
Yeah.
work that way. You do have to practice daily.
So you're saying, from what it sounds like, you're saying for a beginner, show up, at least show up, and then have an experience with it, stay committed to the practice, and then you will have your own experiences and spiritual experiences, right?
Exactly. The more you practice, you will start noticing changes in your body, in
Right.
your in your
Your
mental
being.
health, because everything's gonna start opening up. You will notice, the first thing, you sleeping better, you're more relaxed. So it will come
Right.
slowly. It's accumulative. So you just like you putting that one penny away, it's the same with Tai Chi. You
Mm.
need to practice every day and you accumulate, you building that chi, you changing everything.
Right. Yeah. It sounds like it. So your energy level definitely improves. Everything improves on a physical and health wise. Marjana, did you have a health condition before you practiced Tai Chi?
Yes, I had. Yes, so I battled with a high blood pressure for quite some time.
Right. And so has Tai Chi helped you in improving that? And what is your condition now? And can you share that experience?
Absolutely. So right now, I am high blood pressure free.
Wow. That's impressive. Okay. How
And
how did this happen?
and I'm thanking to partially Tai Chi, practicing Tai Chi, and also by thanks to Dr. Wu introducing me to Kuding Cha tea, that I have drank for, I would say, about a month every day, and then weaned off for about another month. So it actually did take 2 months total. So the combination of practicing Tai Chi daily and consuming the Kuding Cha tea, after that 2 months, my blood pressure right now is perfect.
Wow.
Every day perfect. I've been monitoring. It's been about a year and a half now, and it is perfect.
That's
It has
amazing.
not gone back up.
And the Kuding cha tea, that's the needle tea, right?
Yes, it's the
Yeah.
very bitter tea.
Is
Yes.
it? Oh, wow. But you were committed for 2 months, right? 2 months taking that and doing Tai Chi, and now your blood pressure is gone. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, that's amazing because most people are on pills and prescriptions for high blood pressure. Wow, I think a lot of people that has that condition could definitely give this a go. And so today, now fast forward after your training and now that you've completely healed your high blood pressure, what do you think of this whole practice of TCM, the Taoist Chinese medicine? Why is it that it's taking the mainstream so long to be open to this?
Oh my gosh, I think everybody is so much into the Western medicine because we are so very busy. We don't have time to heal.
Right.
So I think that Western medicine is that quick fix.
Yeah.
It is putting that band-aid over. So you see people, oh my gosh, I have a headache. Let me take a Tylenol so I get my quick fix and it will go
Right.
away, and everybody's used to it. I mean, look at all these advertisements on television,
Mhm.
with the commercials about all these different medications. It's becoming as a norm
Right.
nowadays.
It
So
is.
So everybody's exposed to it. So it's just it's in our brains. Okay, I have a problem like with high blood pressure. Let me go to the doctor. The doctor's gonna give me a quick fix, put me on those beta blockers.
Right.
And it is unfortunate because at the end it will not work. It will ruin your life. It will ruin the quality of your life, and it's really not going to help you at the end because there's so many adverse effects. You might not feel them at first. You might feel good, and it will seem as everything is improving. However, down the road, things will come back up, and it will be much worse where you begin with.
Right. I totally agree. Marjana, you were talking about a lot of it is what we see, the advertisement. Do you think a lot of this is the programming from media then? We're so programmed to think this is the only way, the only route.
Yes, I
Yeah.
totally agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because
Yeah.
if there's more and more commercials. It's like a norm nowadays. You turn
Yeah.
on the TV and there it goes, commercial for diabetes, for the heart, for everything. I don't know, it's just terrible. And that's how the Western medicine is. I
Yeah.
would never back to it. I was one of those people as well. I went to see my Western doctor when I had the high blood pressure issue, and he did put me as usual on beta blockers, calcium blockers, and unfortunately, I had so many adverse reactions my body could not handle.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people like me.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So you did try the Western medicine route and you did take the beta blockers and you were feeling sicker.
Yes, definitely. Oh my gosh, at one point I was fainting. I mean, just so many different reactions. They were so bad. And, every time I would go back to the doctor and explain to him what reactions I had, oh, he says, okay, no problem. Let's try another one. Let's
Oh,
try another.
wow.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
said, what? I feel like an experimental vet at this point. I just no, I don't want any of this. I'm going to do research on my own and turn into more natural methods.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear this quite a bit is that, people had tried the Western medicine route and they were on prescription and it made them feel worse. It wasn't really resolving the root cause. We talk a lot about the root cause of illnesses and TCM. And it's amazing how many people I hear about that issue in Western medicine. And they just reached a tipping point that, or you call it, it's not tipping point, a threshold, and they just can't do it anymore. They hit that threshold and they are forced to try something else because they're not feeling better. If the person's not feeling better, that's just common sense to want to try something different and something maybe more natural. And this is the bulk of our society right now. Do you think that Western medicine could be complementary to Eastern, or do you think it's either or? Like, how do you see that exactly? I was just curious.
I'm not a doctor.
Yeah,
Um,
just as a patient view.
I think it's just every individual has different issues.
Right,
It's what works for the individual,
right,
depending on what health issues they have. Maybe Western plus Eastern will work, and maybe soon they will realize that the Eastern is a better choice. So it
right,
really depends on the individual and what health issues they have. But
right.
what I can say for myself is strongly that you have to be your own advocate. You
Yes,
have to do your own research. Don't rush into taking medication just because your doctor said so or
exactly.
prescribed very easily nowadays. Do research what this medication will do down the road, what side effects can have. If you choose to take it, try and document, see what's happening to your body, whether it's working or not. be
Right.
open-minded. And and again, because of what I went through, I would definitely recommend to try to take the natural route, because there is so much from nature available
Hmm.
to us. A lot of those health issues people had thousands of years ago, and
Right.
they were able to heal themselves naturally. So
Right.
why not try it?
Yeah.
Just be open-minded. Don't put all those eggs in one basket.
Hmm.
Try it.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. I mean, it just, I personally think Western medicine is great for emergencies if, your gut is hanging out and you need
Yes.
surgery right away. But I think on a sustainable level and longevity is definitely TCM is going the herbal route and the naturalistic path, because that is what's really addressing the root causes of you spiritually, emotionally, physically. And Western medicine does not really even recognize the spiritual aspect of your emotions and self-care. So I totally agree with you. You're your own doctor, and advocating for yourself is really important because you're the one that's living in your body. You know what works, what feels good, what doesn't. Marjana, what is your experience like working and training under Dr. Wu?
Oh my gosh, amazing, just amazing. Dr. Wu is the most wonderful doctor, master, mentor. I owe him so much where I am in my life today. He's just has such a extensive knowledge
Hmm.
in everything, in medicine, in life. He's just amazing.
That's wonderful. And what would you say with Dr. Wu as a student? What is something that maybe you can share with other students that's interested in becoming a Tai Chi instructor, a Tuina practitioner? What do you think is an advice or some sort of element you should bring into the picture for the patient? Like to become prepared with what?
As far as when learning Tai Chi with Dr. Wu, or
Yeah, like I guess I was looking more for like a general advice. Like, let's say if I'm going to take Tai Chi as, become an instructor or become a Tuina practitioner, what is something that would be a good advice that you would prepare me for? Like, Judy, be more patient, be more open to it, don't look for results right away, kind of like in that realm.
I think all of the above, be patient, be open-minded,
All of it.
all
Right.
of it.
That's
And,
wonderful.
I think the most important, practice, practice, practice
Practice. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
whatever you learn,
Right.
because
Yeah. Nothing's for free, right? You got to go in and make your
hard work,
commitment.
nothing comes easy. You have to work hard at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I said, anybody can do it, no matter at what age you are or where you are in your life.
Right.
Um, you just have to want it. You have to be disciplined and work hard at it,
Yeah.
and you will get the results.
That's wonderful. I mean, you touched upon a really good point, which is you can do this at any age. There's no expiration. I love that. So, it sounds like it's a lifetime practice, and that's the beauty of it. It doesn't matter if you're 95 and you're just starting out. So, well, thank you so much for your time, Marjana. I had a wonderful interview. It was great talking with you, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Julie. Pleasure as well. Wonderful talking to you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Marjana.
Thank you.